In this video, I'm going to cover nonlinear, or to be more specific, quadratic inequalities. Before we start working on quadratic inequalities, I just want to remind you about rules that are used for any inequality. Rule number one, that any term, when you move any term of inequality from one side to another side, you are changing only the sign of that term, and you don't change the sign of entire inequality. For example, if I have 3x plus 5 less than x squared, and I want to move x squared to the left side, I will get negative. So it was positive, I flip to negative, plus 3x plus 5. And the sign of entire inequality doesn't change, stays the same. Rule number two. If you move, excuse me, if you multiply both parts of inequality by some number, or divide, as a matter of fact, by a positive number, it does not affect the sign of inequality. So let's see. If I have 8x minus 4 is greater than 12x squared, and I see all three terms I have are divisible by 4, so I'm going to divide by 4. First of all, it won't disbalance the inequality, it will be the same. I will get 2x minus 1 greater than 3x squared. And the same rule is about multiplication. So we can multiply or divide entire inequality by the positive number, and it will not affect the sign of inequality. See, it will stay the same. A different story is when I multiply or divide both parts of inequalities by the same negative number. For example, I have negative 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 is less equal 0. So if I divide by negative 2, for example, or negative 1, as a matter of fact, let's go easy number, it's going to flip the sign. So what will I get? I will get 2x squared plus 3x minus 1, but I'm getting greater or equal 0. It changed the sign of the inequality as well. See, here you had less. You divide by negative number, and it changed the sign also. Okay. That is the rule we are going to stick to when we solve any inequalities. Said that, let's start practicing solving different types of quadratic inequalities. And what is interesting, every single quadratic inequality, will have its own something different in the method of solution, in the method of solution. Okay, so let's start. X squared plus x minus 12. I can break down as x plus 4, x minus 3 is less than 0, right? Because 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Positive 4 and negative 3 is positive 1. Actually, to solve, we are going to accept it as a 0, temporary. So we can solve it. And from here, x is equal negative 4, and x is equal positive 3, right? Okay, because we have multiplication by 0, that's mean either one parenthesis 0 or another parenthesis 0. So what do we get here? We get the two solutions, but because this is not the equation, this is inequality, we have to figure out which part of interval it's going to be solution, because when you have inequality, its solution has not just one number as a equation, but has the whole range or interval, as a matter of fact. For example, let's say if I would put this x plus 4, x minus 3 as an equation, so practically I would have here negative 4 and I would have here 3. And these 2 points would be solution for the equation, period. But because we have inequality, solution can be less than negative 4. It can be between negative 4 or 3, or it can be greater than 3. Okay? And plus, see, we have less than 0, so equal sign is missing. When equal sign is missing, we put empty circle, which tell us that equal sign is missing, and negative 4 and positive 3 are not going to be included in the solution. Okay? So what do we have here? Well, let's say we take negative 4. I'm going to take less than negative 4. Let me take negative 5. How about that? I'm taking negative 5. X is equal negative 5. So we will have negative 5 plus 4. Negative 5 minus 3 is equal 0. I mean, we need to find out. Okay, so negative 5 plus 4 is negative. Negative 5, negative 3 is negative. Negative times negative, it's going to give us positive, right? So here we get greater than 0, which is going to be positive. Okay, taking it between. Let me change the color here. So we would know we are doing drafting, so figure out the sign. Next, between negative 4 and 3, I'm taking 0, because it's easy. So what do we have? 0 plus 4, 0 minus 3. So we have here positive, here we have negative. 0 minus 3 is negative, so we get less than 0, so between we have negative. Okay, and greater than 3, I am taking 4. So we get 4 plus 4. Let me move a little bit down so we would have space. Four plus 4, and then 4 minus 3. What do we get? Here we get will be positive. Here also will be positive, which means we get positive, greater than 0. It's positive. So here also positive. Now, our original inequality requires less than 0, which is negative, which means the solution is going to be this part. Okay? The solution is going to be this part. Less than 0. That will be the answer. And now, so to write down the solution, I'm going to put x has to be greater than negative 4 and less than 3. That's a one way. And the other way, in the form of interval, we can put negative 4, comma 3. And put in parentheses, because negative 4 and 3 are not included, so equal sign is missing. Okay, next one. 2x squared minus x greater than 0. So how I'm going to solve this one? So getting x out, I will get 2x minus 1 greater equal 0. Well, for solution, I'm going to put equals 0. So what we're going to get? Either x is equal 0 or 2x minus 1 is equal 0. So from here, 2x is equal 1 and x is equal 1/2. So let's see which interval or range is going to be the solution. So we have 0. Let's say this is our 0. This is 1/2. Okay. So we are going to take less than 0, explore what is going to be the solution. Less than 0, between 0 and 1/2, and greater than 1/2. Okay, less than 0, let's take negative 1. Here we take 1/4, here we take 1. Okay, x is equal negative 1. So negative 1 is less than 0, right? And we have 2 times negative 1 minus 1. So I'm looking into both sides. Or I can go to this one, it would be easier. Let's go easier way. Go by 2x squared minus x greater equals 0. I plug straight there. So, twice negative 1 squared minus negative 1. So what that will be, it's going to be 2 and plus 1. So it's going to be greater than 0. So this is going to be positive. Next, x is equal negative, x is equal 1/4. So let's plug into this one again. 2 times 1/4 squared, which is going to be positive, and then minus 1/4. Let's see what's going to be here. 1/4 squared, it's going to be 1/16, right? This is a 1, this is 8. So 1/8 minus 1/4, it's going to be less than. Now we get x is equal 1, because we are testing this third part, right? Okay. What do we get? We have 2x squared minus x, 2 times 1 squared minus 1. So it's going to be 2 minus 1, it's going to be 1, which is going to be greater than 0, right? I forgot to put everywhere equal sign also, because our points are, here we have greater equal, which means every single this point is going to be solid, it's included, because we have equal sign. Here also. So, and it's going to be positive. Here it is positive. Which one is going to be solution? Since we have our original inequalities greater than 0, that's when we're going to look the ones that greater than 0, which is going to be less than 0, and greater than 1/2. This is going to be solution. If I write down in the format of interval, it's going to be x is less than 0, less equal 0, and x is greater equal 1/2. Okay? Or if in the format of interval, I will write down, since we have parentheses, we have equal signs, so it's going to be square bracket. So it's growing from negative infinity to 0, square bracket, right? And, or we can put here, or more than 1/2. So we take square bracket and it goes to positive infinity parentheses. Why did I put this way? Less than 0. If this is my 0, it's going to be less this way, right? And it's heading to negative infinity. But our numbers are growing from left to right. So it's a proper way to put from the small number first, bigger number second. So negative infinity obviously is less than 0. And 1/2 is less than positive infinity. This is why we put that way. Okay. Moving to next problem. X minus 1 times x plus 1 and x minus 2. Okay, let's solve it. What we're going to have in this case? Okay, in this case we are going to have three terms. First one, to solve it. So I'm going to write down x minus 1 times x plus 1 times x minus 2 is equal 0, which means either x minus 1 is equal 0, where x is equal 1, or x plus 1 is equal 0, where x is equal negative 1, or x minus 2 is equal 0, or x is equal 2. All right. So let's see. I'm drawing this line. So because equal sign is missing, are going to be circles, empty circles. So negative 1, positive 1, and positive 2. Well, not big of a... Let me draw a graph here. Well, okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. I can stretch this one a little bit. 1 second. So, looking this period, this interval, and then this. Let's see which one is going to be the solution. All right. So this is negative 1, this is positive 1, this is positive 2. Let's see what numbers we are going to pick. Less than negative 1, let's take negative 2, okay. Negative 1, positive 1, I'm taking 0. Why would I make my life more difficult? 0 between them, I'll take 0. Now 1 and 2, now this one will get me 1.5. But we don't need to multiply all the way through. All we just have to figure out if it's cosine going to be positive or negative. Okay, let's go. X is equal negative 2. So what do we get? Negative 2 minus 1, negative 2 plus 1, negative 2 minus 2. So this is negative. This is negative. this is negative, so it's going to be less than 0, negative. Next, x is equal 0. So 0 minus 1, 0 plus 1, 0 minus 2, negative, positive, negative. It's going to be positive. This piece is going to be positive. Looks like this piece is going to be satisfactory because we have greater than 0. Next one, I'm taking x is equal 1.5. So 1.5 minus 1, 1.5 plus 1, 1.5 minus 2. How much do we get here? Let's see. This is going to be positive. This is going to be positive. This is going to be negative. And the solution is going to be less than 0. Okay, this is negative, less than 0. And lastly, we take 3. Let's say x is equal 3. 3 minus 1, 3 plus 1, and 3 minus 2. This is positive, this is positive, this is positive, greater than 0. So our solution is going to be the area where we get greater than 0, positive, right? Because our original one is greater than 0, which is going to be this piece. And it's going to be this piece. Let's for a minute imagine that this, my inequality here, x minus 1, x plus 1, and x minus 2, it's going to be less than 0. Then which part it's going to be satisfying? Let me see. Well, we can use this one. Then less than 0, we would choose the ones that would be what? Negative, right? Then it would be this answer and would be this answer, correct? Two different answers. Okay, so it would be x is greater than 1, less than 2, or it's going to be x is less than negative 1. That would be the answer. Okay, moving to next one. Let me see if I can clean this green one. Okay, very good. Moving to next one, negative x squared minus 3x plus 4. Remember what I said in the rule that if we divide, since I want to get rid of negative sign in front of x squared, so I can factor it, then when we divide by negative number, then it's going to affect the sign of the inequality. Let's do it. Dividing by negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, and it's going to affect the sign also. It's going to flip. So, and we will get x squared plus 3x minus 4 less equal 0. Okay. So breaking down, what is it going to be? Positive 4, x plus 4, and x minus 1. Yes? Okay. Real quick. This is going to be our line of numbers. So x is equal -4, right, from here, and x is equal +1. And both of them are going to be solid line. So -4, let's assume this is -4, and let's assume this is +1. So either this way, this, or this way. So let's try, let's see what's going to happen. Picking -5 here, picking 0 here, and picking 2 here for the interval. So x squared, I'm going to use this one, x squared plus 3x minus 4 for testing. X is equal -5. Okay, -5 squared plus 3 times -5 minus 4. So this is going to be positive. This is, okay, positive. Yeah, this is addition, subtraction. We have to do it. I can't go just by sign. So 25 minus 10 minus 4. It's going to be positive, right? Greater or equal. All right. Which means it's going to be solution, because we need, oh, less than. Okay. Yeah, I was looking here. Yeah, if we are looking on this one, then we are solving, because we are solving with positive x squared, we have to look for less than. So this one is not going to work. Moving further, we have 0. X is equal 0, so it's going to be 0 plus 3 times 0 minus 4. It's going to be less equal 0, which is going to be negative here. And now x is greater than 1, which is taking 2. So it's going to be 2 squared plus 3 times 2 minus 4. What do we get? 4 plus it, it's going to be positive. Greater or equal 0. So this is going to be positive. So our solution, since we are looking for negative, less than 0, this is going to be our solution. And the answer is going to be let me clean this. X is greater equal -4, less equal 1. Or we can write down -4, 1 square brackets, because both of them are included. All right, question number 4. Moving to question number 5. All right. So before I do anything else, I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to get, taking x out, x minus 1, and x squared minus 5x minus 6, I'm going to break down x plus 1, x minus 6, and that is less than 0. Okay, so what is the, how are we going to solve this one? So in denominator, if I take denominator, x times x minus 1 is equal 0, my solution is going to be x is equal 0 and x is equal 1. Yes? And for the denominator, x squared, x plus 1 times x minus 6 is equal 0. The solution is going to be, let me move it here. Solution is going to be -1 and x is equal +6. All right, so we are going to write down these solutions. we have, see, we are going to put all of them with empty circle. -1, positive, this is 0, this is +1, and we have 6, kind of outlier. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get this, 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 and this one. Let's figure out. So if I have less than 1, right? Let's say I am taking what? -2 on this side, 0.5 on this side, -0.5. Here I am taking +0.5. Here I am taking 2, let's say, and we can take 7 or 8. Okay, 7. All right. So what result do we get if I take -2 on the top? It's gonna be, let's say, -2, -2 minus 1. So this is negative, this is negative. Result is gonna be here positive. At the bottom, we will have -2 plus 1. It's negative. -2, -6 is negative. Result is going to be positive. So here it's going to be positive. X is equal -2. Next, x is equal -0.5. I am plugging result right here. So -0.5. You can plug to original one also. So what do we get? -0.5 times -0.5 and -1. So this is negative, this is negative. Result is going to be here positive. And here I have -0.5 plus 1. It's going to be positive. -0.5 plus 6, it's going to be positive. So result is going to be positive between, oh, -6, I'm sorry. -6 which will change the game. It's going to be negative. So the result here is negative. So the same way I will solve the rest. You can solve it and you will get, here will be positive, here will be negative, and here I will get positive. So we need to get result less than 0. Which one less than 0 is negative? So the solution is going to be this piece. And the solution going to be this piece. Okay, so if I write down, I'm going to get x is greater than -1, less than 0, and x is greater than 1, less than 6. Let me see, -1. Okay, or in the form of interval, it's going to be -1 and 0, or 1 and 6. Moving to next one. Question number 6. What do we have here? Since we have greater than 1, so I'm moving on the other side and I'm getting 6x squared minus 5x plus 4 over 6x squared minus x minus 2 minus 1 greater equals 0. Okay, let's bring to common denominator. We are going to get 6x squared minus x minus 2, 6x squared minus 5x plus 4. Now here I will get, since I have negative 1 only, so I have to divide and multiply. So 6x squared minus x minus 2, and same way 6x squared minus x minus 2. And all that is greater equals 0. Okay, so what do we get? Now, if it would be equation, we would drop denominator, right? Not in the case of inequality, we do not dare to drop, okay? So, if I combine 6x squared minus x minus 2, I'm getting 6x squared minus 5x plus 4, and since I have here negative sign, it's going to treat me as a negative, be treated as a negative sign in front of parentheses. We get negative 6x squared plus x plus 2, and we get greater equals 0. Let's combine like terms. These two are canceling each other, and we will have negative 4x plus 6 over 6x squared minus x minus 2. And that is greater equal 0. All right. Let's see what we are going to get from here. So numerator is equal 0, negative 4x plus 6. We're breaking down into two separate equations and solving. Negative 4x is equal negative 6. X is equal negative 6, no, positive 6 over 4, which is going to be 3 over 2. Okay. 1 second. Next one. 6x squared minus 6 minus 2 is equal 0. So this one, I'm going to solve it because this one I cannot break it down. And I'm going to use ax squared plus bx plus c is equal 0. And x1, 2 is equal negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a, which is not difficult at all. Ax squared minus plus bx plus c. So real quick, write down a is equal 6, a, b, c. A is equal 6, B is equal negative 1, C is equal negative 2. To save space, this is what I'm going to do. And this one moves here. Okay, let's start solving. X1, 2 is equal negative b, so since I have negative 1, negative b will be positive 1, plus minus b squared, it's going to be 1 squared minus 4 times a is 6, and times c is negative 2. and divided by 2 times a, which is going to be 2 times 6. From here, x1, 2, let me move this down one more time, okay, is equal 1 plus minus, how much? It's going to be 4 times 6 is 24 and 48. So both of them going to be, okay, 1 plus 48 over 12. So x1, 2 is equal 1 plus minus 7 over 12, right? So from here, x1 is equal 1 plus 7 is 8 over 12. Reduced by 4, it's going to be 2/3. And x2 is going to be 1 minus 7. It's going to be negative 6 over 12, which is going to be negative 1/2. So here we have x is equal 2/3 and x is equal negative 1/2. All right. Let me, okay. So let's figure out what we're going to get. Plugging these points. What do I have here? 3 over 2, it's over 1, something over 1. It's going to be full point, 3 over 2. Next, 2 over 3, it's going to be less. And we are getting negative 1/2. Okay, this is what I will do. There we go. And negative 1/2, it's going to go this way. All right. So let's solve it. Okay. So less than 1/2, I'm taking negative 1. Between negative and positive, I am definitely taking 0. Between 2/3 and 3 over 2, I'm taking 1. And 1/2, taking 2. Okay. And I'm going to plug here. So x is equal negative 1. What do I get? Negative 4 times negative 1 plus 6. And 6 times negative 1 squared, it's going to be 6. Minus negative 1 and minus 2. So I'm getting, this is positive. Here I get positive. Also positive, so this is going to be positive. And then the same way, x is equal 0. So for x is equal 0, plugging here. So negative 4 times 0 plus 6. 6 times 0 squared, minus 0 minus 2. So we are getting here positive over negative. So it's going to be negative. Okay. Next, we are taking 1. Let me move this. Okay. So I can I want to write down next to it. All right? So x is equal 1. It's going to be negative 4 times 1 plus 6. 6 times 1 squared minus 1 minus 2. What is it going to be? This is going to be positive. 6 minus 1, 5, which is also going to be positive. So it's going to be positive. And lastly, x is equal to 4 times 2 plus 6. 6 times 2 squared minus 2 minus 2 is going to be plus, this is going to be 6 times 2, 4, 24. Wait, what did I do? Something I did wrong. Negative 8. Okay. This is going to be negative. On the top, negative 8 plus 6. It's going to be negative. Here it's going to be positive. So we get here negative. So what is going to be a solution? The interval that is positive, because we need greater than 0, which is going to be this one and this one. Okay. So the answer is going to be here. The answer is going to be x is less than negative 1/2 and x is greater than 2/3 and less than 3/2. If I clean this, it will be seen much better, huh? So this will be plus, this will be minus, this will be plus, and here is minus. So it's going to be this one, and it's going to be this. Two areas. Okay. So these two answers are going to be, we can write down in the notation of interval, which is going to be negative infinity, negative 1/2, or 2/3 and 3/2. That will be the solution. Okay. Moving to next one. X cubed minus 7 to x plus 3, 3x minus 8. All right. So what am I doing? First, I'm going to simplify in numerator. So I'm going to take what? X out. X squared minus 7. And here I will get 2x plus 3. There is nothing to change here. 3x minus 8 equals 0. So two choices. First is x times x minus x squared minus 7 is equal 0. So either x is equal 0 or x squared equals 7. And x is going to be equal plus minus square root of 7. Right? Second one, 2x plus 3, 3x minus 8 is equal 0. So either x is equal negative 3/2 or x is equal positive 8/3. drawing the line of numbers. Square root square root of 7. It's gonna be at least 2 and something, huh? Let me check. Seven and square root, yeah, 2 and 65. So 2 and 65 approximately. 2 and 65, so we will know where on this line we place it. And it's going to be solid, negative 3 over 2. All points are going to be solid. Negative 3 over 2. 2 and 65, so okay, here, positive 7 and negative 2 and 65. This is 1.5. And 2 and 65 is going to be somewhere here. Negative square root of 7. Okay. And what do we have? 8 over 3. Let's say here. 8 over 3. So what is interesting here, and I forgot to do it with in the previous case, I will go back in a minute once I explain. We have for denominator, when we solved, here it is, we got negative 3 over 2 and 8 over 3. And although we have here equal sign, greater equal, but still negative 3 over 2 and 8 over 3 cannot be solid numbers because these numbers themselves, negative 3 over 2, the 8 third, if you take these numbers, plug this inequality, you're going to get division by 0, right? Therefore, this always solution of the denominator, it's going to be empty circle. Doesn't matter equal sign is there or not, because otherwise it's going to turn into 0. Division by 0. Therefore, these two circles are going to be empty circles. And the same way I should do here also. See, 6x squared minus x, this one. 6x squared minus x minus 2 here. Minus 2 when I solved it. It's right here. When I solved it, I got 2 thirds and negative 1 over 2, right? So, although we have equal sign, but still 2 thirds or negative 1/2 is gonna be empty circle because it cannot be included, otherwise it will become division by 0, and here is 2 thirds. So this one, it will still stay, right? Negative 2, 1/2, 2 thirds, and 3 over 2. 3 over 2 will stay because it's a solution for numerator, right? This is solution for numerator. We can have 0 in numerator because we have equal sign also, greater equal, right? If it would be only greater, then numerator also would be empty circle because we could not have result as a 0. Okay, this is important thing I wanted to mention. So, not to make you go through all this again calculations, positive, negative, negative, positive, I'll just tell you that negative 7 it's going to be less than negative 7, it's going to be negative. Between these two it's going to be positive. Here it's going to be negative. Wait, we have there 0 also. I have to squeeze there 0. Hold on. This 0 also. Gee, there are so many cases. This 0, see? We have to squeeze this 0. Which means I will move this square root 7 here. Okay? And 0 is going to be solid also. So 0 square root 7. So here it's between negative 3 over 2 and 0. It's going to be negative. Between 0 and square root 7 is positive. And 8 over 3 is going to be negative. The end of that is positive. It's like it's going like look how it's going. It's like cosine. It's gonna go like this. Yeah. Okay. So, and subject of our interest has to be greater or equal 0, which is gonna be positive. Therefore, positive is this piece, and this one, greater than 8 over 3. Okay, so the solution gonna look like x is greater or equal negative square root 7 and less than negative 3 over 2. And then x is greater or equal 0, less equal square root 7. And then x is greater than 8 over 3. So in the format of interval, it's going to be negative square root of 7, 3 over 2, parentheses, and then square bracket, 0, square root 7, bracket, and 8 over 3, comma, positive infinity. Okay, that is the answer. All right. Moving to next one. What do we have here? We have x minus 1 squared times x plus 2. So one case it's going to be x minus 1 squared is equal 0, x equal positive 1. And the other case, x plus 2 is equal 0, x is equal negative 2. Since we have less than, there is no equal sign, so both answers are going to be circles. Empty circles. Negative 2, and this is 1. So for negative 2, I'm taking what? Negative 3. Here we are taking 0, here we are taking positive 2. Okay, if I take negative 3, so negative 3, it doesn't matter what will be in the first this parenthesis because it's going to be positive. We have square, right? So it's going to be always positive. So all solution going to decide x plus 2. So negative 3, it's going to be here, it's going to be positive, and let me see, x plus minus 1 squared, always going to be positive. Okay, x plus 2 when x is equal negative 3. X plus 2, it's going to be negative, right? So positive times negative is going to be negative. Now taking 0, first one is 0, then positive. So it's going to be positive. If we take 0, it's going to be 0 minus 1 squared times 0 plus 2. It's going to be positive. And taking x is equal to, we are getting 2 minus 1 squared and 2 plus 2. It is going to be positive. So our only solution is going to be less than 2. Okay, less equal 2. So the solution for this one, it would be x is less than negative 2, or in the form of interval, it's going to be negative infinity, negative 2. Okay? So moving to this one. So what do we have here? We have x squared times 3x plus 4 squared, x minus 2 to power 4 is equal 0, which means x is equal 0. So x, for first one, for this one, x is equal negative 4 over 3, right? And for this one, x is equal positive 2. Next denominator, x minus 5 to power 5, 2x minus 7 to power 6 equals 0. So that means from here, x is here equal positive 5. And here, x is going to be equal 3.5. All right. Keep in mind, so we won't do the same mistake I missed the last 2 times. Since we have equal 0, but still these answers 5 and 3.5, because those are answers of denominator, these 5 and 3.5 have to be empty circles, so we won't face division by 0. Okay? If I put solid, that means we accept these 2 answers, and we will end up with division by 0, and we do not want to do that. All right, we have solid, negative 4 over 3, solid, 0, solid, 2, and then is coming empty circle, 3.5, and then another empty circle, 5. So when do we get greater equals 0? If I break down the same way I did in previous cases, not to take your time, you can go over yourself, and if you won't get the same answer I got, you can put in the comment and I'll gladly will answer it, go over. So it's less than 4/3, it's going to be positive. Between negative 4/3 and 0, it's going to be negative. Here is going to be negative. Here is going to be negative. Between these two also negative, and here is positive. And we are looking for positive cases, which is going to be less than 4/3 and greater than 5. So solution is x is less equal negative 4 over 3 and x is greater than 5 without equal sign. So in the format of interval, it's going to be from negative infinity all the way to negative 4 over 3 square bracket, or x is greater than 5 and infinity. Okay. So next one, this one we need to simplify before we do any changes. So 19 minus x squared minus 4x over 49 minus x squared. I'm breaking down 7 minus x times 7 plus x. Remember, a squared minus b squared is equal a plus b, a minus b. A plus b, a minus b. So, and since we have a 7 plus x, we are missing 7 minus x, so I'm going to complete it. 7 minus x, and remember, whatever change I do to one side of fraction, I have to do exactly same change to the other side of fraction. 7 minus x, and we get less than 0. Result is 7 plus x, 7 minus x, we get 19 minus x squared minus 4x minus 21, and it's going to be plus, because don't forget I'm considering this negative sign, be plus 3x. Okay? So, what do we get? Let's simplify. We are going to get negative x squared, so minus x, because like terms, right? 1x and minus 2. Here we have 7 plus x times 7 minus x, less than 0. So let's get rid of negative sign. It's going to be, we are multiplying both sides by -1. And remember, when we multiply by -1, it affects the sign of inequality also. And it's going to get x squared plus x plus 2 over 7 plus x, 7 minus x, is going to be greater than 0, right? If we flip the sign also. All right, so x squared plus x plus 2 is equal 0. 7 plus x times 7 minus x is equal 0. So let's solve this one. I don't think we can break it down, so we are going to go as an ax squared plus bx plus c. So a, b, c, a is 1, b is positive 1, c is 2. And my x12 is equal negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac divided by 2 times a, which means x12 is equal negative b, it's going to be -1, plus minus b squared, it's going to be 1 squared, which is going to be 1, minus 4 times 1 and times 2. Look what we are getting, and 2 times 1. We are getting negative number under denominator, yes? x12 is equal -1 plus minus square root of 8, -7, which cannot happen. Divided by 2, which means I'm going to get, this one does not have any solution, any real numbers. All right? So then we are moving to solve the other one, denominator. Okay. What is going to be? 7x 7 plus x, 7 minus x. All right. So for this one, x will be equal -7 for this one. X is going to be +7. Yes? So from here, we are going to have -7 and +7. Plus, we have to pay attention, so 7 is not going to be solid circle. Well, we don't have equal sign anyway. So our graph is going to look like the solution in the graphing format. This is going to be -7, +7. Okay, so less than 7, let's take -8. So let me see. -8, 0, +8. Yeah? So let's see, x is -8. So +7 minus 8. 7 minus -8. So this is negative, this is positive. It's going to be negative here. Right? And then x is equal 0. It's going to get 7 plus 0. 7 minus 0. We're going to get positive. And x is equal 8. We are going to get 7 plus 8, which is positive, and 7 minus 8 is negative. So positive, negative, we're going to get negative. And since our inequality requires greater than 0, which is going to be this area, greater than 0. And if I would draw the graph, it's going to go like this. Well, I don't want to confuse you, but, well, okay. It's going to go like that. Okay? And this is going to be the solution. Okay. So x squared minus 2x plus 1. Let me see if I can break it down. Yes. X minus 1, x minus 1 less equal 0. So solution is x. X is equal +1, right? Okay, so we have here only one solution. And 1 is going to be a solid circle. So we're going to look either this way or this way. Less than 1, I'll take 0. More than 1, I'll take 2. 0, and here is 2. All right, so if x is equal 0, I get +1, right? 0 minus 0 plus 1, I get positive. When x is equal 2, I get 2 squared minus 2 times 2 plus 1. It's going to be 4 minus 4. It's still getting positive. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 4, 0, plus 1, positive. So we get positive and positive, which is going to be, the solution is going to be x from -infinity to +infinity. Okay, and it looks like 8. which means an interval will be negative infinity, positive infinity. This one, x squared plus 2x plus 7, we're definitely gonna go by a12, solve this way, x12. Let me write down a, b, c. So a is 1, b is 2, c is 7. So we have negative b, which is going to be negative 2, plus minus b squared, which is going to be 2 squared, minus 4a, and c is 7, divided by 2a, 2 times 1. So we get what? No solution, because we have here negative sign under square root. So we have no solution in this case. All right? And the last one, x squared minus 6x plus 3 is going to be x minus 3 times x minus 3. Looks like it's going to be one solution here, right? And it's going to be free. And it's going to be empty circle. And we get less than or greater than. So less than, I'm taking 0. More than, taking 4. So let me see. X is equal 0. 0 minus 3. 0 minus 3. It's going to end up positive. And x is equal 4. 4 minus 3. 4 minus 3, it's going to end up positive, which means x is going to be from negative infinity to positive infinity. Or it's going to be negative infinity, positive infinity in the interval. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching. See you again.